Welcome back to We the People. Earlier I talked about, I was kidding a little bit about the phone calls. But you know, I believe as a elected official, that's very important. I hope you keep your word on that. I know you will. Harris County Commissioner Jack Mormon, I'm still waiting on that return phone call any day now. It's only been a year. But
But you know, Roy, on the campaign trail, that does come up a lot. People want their elected official to be responsive. That's probably like one of the #1 things is, if I vote for you, and they ask all the candidates that, if I vote for you, are you going to get back to me? Are you going to return my phone call? And I say, you know what? Look at my past. That's what I do now. People try to reach me. They know how to reach me. I've had the same cell phone for 10 years now. I'm not hiding from anybody.
well, and that's good. You know, as a candidate or just anybody that's out there helping the candidate, I know you've been there for me sometimes, and sometimes you haven't. But
My mistakes.
well, that's okay. But you were there even afterwards. I appreciate that, and I know you're going to do well if you get elected because your heart's there, and it's for the people and for the people that get you there. You know, we have always had a lot of good people. I know you have a great staff working there. You'll be there for them. I'm there. Sometimes I question if I'm still there for them, but I'm there for them. But let's talk about something important. How do we compare and contrast you with your opponents? I understand that one of your opponents, Ellen Cohen, former state representative.
Emphasis on the former.
Exactly. She took a vote while she was in Austin, and it was against an issue or a topic that was called Jessica's Law. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely, Roy. I mean, in fact, she had quite a few bad votes, but let's talk about one for starters, Jessica's Law. Here's important legislation designed to protect, and let's do a little history for the audience. She likes to go out there and say how she's fighting for people and fighting for this, but on an important vote like Jessica's Law, she let everyone down. Jessica's Law's legislation is designed to protect our very innocent young children, to make stiffer penalties for pedophiles, for people that prey on young children. And almost everybody up in Austin, all the legislatures voted for this Jessica's Law legislation, and it passed and it went into being. But Ms. Cohen voted the exact opposite and in the wrong direction. She voted against it. I mean, quite frankly, that's inexcusable. Now she wants to reinvent herself on the campaign trail as being tough on crime and conservative. Don't think so, Ms. Cohen.
Okay. Well, what other votes did she make that were probably in the wrong direction?
Well, quite frankly, there's quite a few of them. Let's talk about hers on crime. She's soft on crime. There was a budget for the Department of Public Safety, and she voted to transfer money from the Department of Public Safety. These are our patrol officers that patrol the state of Texas, to take money from them and give it over to the prison system to be used in the recreation centers. Come on. I mean, you can't make much more bigger mistakes than that. That's just out of line.
Well, that's why we have a program like this. And I do invite all of the candidates in District C to come on. You can give us a call here at the PMI station, and we'd love to schedule you up if you can have the opportunity to come out here and tell us what your platform's all about. But I want to go back to...
Well, still further, you know, she liked to raise her taxes. She voted to tax nursing homes, and quite frankly, I take that very much to task. 5.5%, I believe, was the number that she wanted to tax people in nursing homes. You know how many people, how many families out there are struggling and that are liquidating assets to keep their loved ones in a quality nursing home and are barely making it? People on Medicare who hit that donut hole and pay a lot for prescription costs. Here she comes along and wants to tax, I believe it's 5.5% of families that are already struggling. That's not very conservative in my mind. And then yet again, when it came time to vote for her proposed pension, there she was able to vote for it because she certainly wanted to increase that.
Well, did she end up with the pension?
She wasn't there long enough. Thankfully, the voters realized that she wasn't the right person for the job, and they sent her home, and she didn't get to it.
We're going to save a little money there then, I think, because we redrew the lines, I think, in that area as well. So, tell us a little bit about your plans for improving how we can fight against the flooding in an area that's had it for years.
Absolutely. Roy, the area roughly extends from on the southern part to neighborhoods like Robindale, Meyerland, Maplewood. works its way up through parts near the medical center, Rice University, going through Montrose, a portion of the Heights, into Garden Oaks and Oak Forest. Every neighborhood is not the exact same. Each neighborhood is going to have its unique issues, but there are a number that deal with significant flooding issues, and those definitely have to be addressed. And we have to make sure that we look at a comprehensive plan. We have to work with the Harris County Flood Control District, and we have to focus on those basics. And I think that's some of the problem here, is we elect people to office who go down there and their focus is on getting elected to the next position, and they sit there and spend tax dollars that people work hard, that are sitting in to pay their property taxes, and we don't take care of those basics like flooding, police, fire, and infrastructure. On the flooding issue, we definitely need to work on increasing our detention ponds. We need to keep the projects like Brays Bayou, continue to work to widen the bayous. Other bayous, we need to work on getting those widened. And we also need to look at a flood alert system, because after all, we can't eliminate all the flooding problems in Houston. A flood alert system would enable a neighborhood to know when there's imminent flooding in their area, to give them an opportunity, especially for disabled, to get children out, anyone who wants an opportunity to know that you've got about an hour or so. Let's focus on these opportunities, and that's something that's low cost to be able to predict and warn people to get out of the area.
Well, let's get back to that in a few minutes. We've got to
Sure.
take a break, and we're going to talk more about flooding, and I want to talk a little bit about this new fire station you're considering.
You bet.
We'll be right back.